find your correct, like, people that you're supposed to, like, be with, like, friends or family, and, like, you should be able to tell them, like, I'm gonna go take a nap, and they should fucking celebrate you.
I had this plan in my head. I was going to move to this new city, have this new job, make a lot more money than I make now, like, be in my little, like, hot girl single life, like, find a mate, you know, all these things.
A cowboy.
A cowboy, like, I mean, I don't know.
Welcome back to The Deep with Darius Brown. I have some special guests with me today. Anaya and Kiara, my favorite people on planet Earth. These two women right here are some of the most intelligent women I know, so I had to get them on here as soon as I could. Anaya, Ki, how are we doing? Are y'all excited?
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous.
Kind of nervous?
Yeah, I'm nervous too.
Yeah, right?
I don't know if you guys could tell. If you guys watched the first episode, I was nervous the entire time. The entirety of 30 minutes that it took me to record that video. So,
Do you feel different now?
a little bit more confident. So, well, you know, because it's already out there now. So,
True.
it can't get worse than it already has. The hardest part is starting.
That is true.
That's a bar.
You did.
That's true. Today we're gonna be talking about college because I'm hoping to get my demographic of people watching this video between 18 and 24, and that usually means that you're in college. So if you're listening to this and you're in college, pick up on the tips. If you have any suggestions, let us know because I'm still struggling with it, and so is everybody else who's in college. So here we go. All right. First, before actually we get into it, y'all have to introduce yourselves. Who are you guys?
Okay, so I'm Anaya Thomas. I am popping on this podcast because I'm in the phase of after college, so the post grad. I graduated like 8 months ago. I don't know how that happened, but I did. About 8 months ago. So right now, I currently am a server at Texas Roadhouse with these lovely people, just where we met. And I'm 22, so I'm in that kind of weird, like, I'm an adult, but like I'm like a fake adult. Like I'm still trying to figure it all out. And I think that's why I'm here.
Nice.
Again?
Kiara, who are you?
I am Kiara. I'm Darius's girlfriend of 3 years, and I'm not in college. I didn't finish college. I'm actually not in college right now.
I'm on break.
I'm on a break. I finished like 3 years, so when I go back, I'll have like a year and a half
Yeah,
to do.
fine.
I know that I want to go back. It's just a matter of when.
Right.
So I have like a little bit of like a different intel than either of these two do. So that's why I'm here.
And if you guys don't know, I'm Darius Brown. I am currently in college right now. I'm a senior at ECU, finishing up. Actually, I had my first day of classes today, so that was a little scary. Everyone was like, first day. So that's nuts. But here we go. I really just wanted to make this video because all three of us were basically in a Venn diagram of each other, where like we all have like common goals and common things that we do, but we're all doing different things as well. So like Anaya said, she's a post grad, she's looking for that dream job. She's working her ass off, but also trying to figure out when she's going back to school and like what that looks like. And then I'm trying to do a little bit of both, trying to find a job that I don't want to do after school, also working as well as finishing my degree. So I just feel like it would be great to get a little inside scoop from all of our brains, like, you know, just talk about it to see, because really if you're anywhere around college, like you're in one of these three categories. You're either went halfway through and you're like, I don't know, but like maybe I'll go back, or you finished it and you're like, damn, what do I do now? Or you're in college and you're like, shit, I can't wait for this to be over. So that's basically it. So that's what we're talking about today. So what would you say was your favorite thing that you learned about college? Like, was your favorite memory, your favorite like thing that you still do to this day that you learned in college or while you were in college or even at the college age?
I would say my biggest thing, and I feel like I talk about this a lot, like to Darius, like in our regular life, is I feel like living in the dorms with another person, like taught me how to basically respect another person and share a space with them at the same time. And that just translates into bigger things, like whether you're like respecting somebody in their space at work or respecting somebody out and about, like a stranger you don't even know. I grew up like kind of keeping like my room pretty messy. And probably not like being the best with chores. Sorry, mom and dad. But whenever I moved into the dorms, I had a roommate, and we were literally sharing the same like 2 feet of space. And so I just learned how to be like a better person in a way that like I hadn't before. And I think now that's what makes me like respect the people around me like as much as I do, and like always care and look out for other people. And that's like not like college like
That is,
the
I mean, you
book
want to
part. That is like an important
Right.
like life lesson that I feel like
No, we talk about that.
I'm gonna carry with
We
me.
talk about that all the time. How like that first year that you are like apart from your family is like the most crucial year of your life, because that's when you're learning how to do all your own stuff. That's when you're learning how to manage going to school or going to classes that you're technically not required to go to, but you're paying for. But also balancing that with friends and going out and trying to still make money while also being full-time students. So that's heavy on that.
I went to community college for 2 years, so I didn't get that dorm life experience. I lived at home for 2 years, then transferred into ECU. So when I transferred, I lived in an apartment. I did have roommates, but it was different. I had a door, I had my own bathroom. We shared the kitchen, living room, and that was it. So I don't really have that same experience, but I will say one of the biggest lessons that I've learned was just taking the step towards something you think you wouldn't do. Like I said, I was at school for 2 years, but I feel like I did a lot in those 2 years. A lot of things that I thought I wouldn't do, from having to go to networking dinners and talk to like these higher up professionals, being forced to for a class, to signing up for internships that I didn't think I would do, like social media internship, to leading people in my classes where we're still talking now, to talking to professors about random stuff about life, about how to move post grad, other than just school things. So I think the biggest thing, like I said, was just doing it and taking the step to do different things that I thought I was going to do.
That was a great answer. So like back when you were 18, were you scared coming? Or no, I guess for you, you didn't come until 2 years later, so you kind of.
But that wasn't my plan. Technically, was I graduated high school in COVID year, so I didn't have like the full graduation, and then I was supposed to go to NC State. I was dead set I was going to go to NC State, and I got deferred, so I wasn't able to go the first semester. Something, my scores weren't as great or whatever, so I got deferred. So I was going to just take a semester off and then go the next year. COVID happened, they got kicked off campus, and I was like, well, there's no point in like going if they're kicked off. So I'm like, let me reevaluate my plans. Let me see what else I can do. And I figured community college, I can still do school and not be like behind per se. I won't be having the same experience. And that's why I ended up going there. And then ECU was closer to home. So I ended up going to ECU. So like my plan wasn't exactly to do community college, but I think now that I did it, I would do it the same way.
Right.
And it brought you to us.
Yeah, it did.
Sure.
Yeah, I was not supposed to be in Greenville
Right.
at all.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was supposed to be wearing red.
Yeah, for real. I would say, funny enough, I kind of have a similar story in the fact that like I was really either I wanted to go to ECU. That was like not the dream school, but like it fit perfectly for distance away from family, but also close enough to family, as well as it at the time wanting to be a nurse. It was like the one of the top nursing programs in North Carolina. So I was like, that's perfect. And they had a good football, or I don't know about good, but they had a football team and all the things. And I had a couple of friends who were coming, so I was like, I love that idea. But I also was torn between going to community college because it's like better financially. I could stay at home, still save some money, still getting the prereqs of the classes done and taken care of and stuff like that. So, but then I'm glad I came to ECU because I was scared. And I feel like that's why the decision was so hard to make at the time, was because I was so uncertain to moving away and wanting to do that stuff when I didn't feel fully ready. But the best decision I ever made was coming to Greenville. So I love Greenville right now? Probably not. But was it the best decision coming here? Absolutely. So I definitely say that. Were you scared, Kiara, to come to Greenville? You have a little different story too, with like your family kind of moving with you and stuff. But like when you first originally came, were you like a little scared when you moved to the dorms and stuff like that? Because it was before COVID when you moved.
Yeah, I was scared. I think everybody's scared of change though.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like overbearing, but I definitely was nervous. I definitely felt sad, like leaving my friends behind and like my life there. You grow up somewhere and then you move somewhere like 6 hours away. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's
true. Now we're gonna go a little bit into deep dive of like y'all's personal perspectives of after college, or like what college has like taught you guys the most. What would you say was like beneficial part of going to ECU? Like what would you say you learned academically about yourself? Did you like have to change your major? Did you ever reconsider? Was it hard struggling, like figuring out what you wanted to do? Like,
I will say that I always had the business mindset. I wanted to do something with business. I've loved business my whole life. My parents have owned businesses their whole life, so I've been around it. I came into ECU on a management track. I started and I just felt like I wasn't learning much. It was stuff that I kind of already had seen because I've been in it before with my parents. So it wasn't beneficial for me. So I changed to marketing because I loved the creative side, the social media, the art, all that stuff behind marketing. I guess I can say that it's beneficial. Yes, for sure. You learn more about yourself. I think I learned more about myself than I did academically. Not saying I didn't learn anything, but I think I learned more about who I am as a person. And academically, discipline.
yeah.
I've been a disciplined person my whole life, but I think when you're disciplined by yourself and not like having mommy and daddy tell you like you have to go to work at 5, but you have class until 3, and then you have an internship in between that, and then you can sleep after. And nobody was telling me this is what you have to do at this time. You have to do this, get this work done. I had to dig in my own brain and be like, make a calendar, figure out your times, like all that stuff. So I guess that's probably the biggest academic thing I learned was the discipline of balancing.
I feel like academically it's kind of hard because it's so hard, like balancing all the things on top of going to school.
It is.
And it's so free almost. Like in the world that you can go to class when you want. You can show up for tests if you want. You don't have to go to class if you want.
I like that you said that because I feel like I struggle a lot with discipline.
Yeah. It's a hard
not anywhere else in my life, I don't think, but like school yeah.
Yeah. It's because it's not something you really want.
It's like something you like have to do.
Yeah, you feel
it's
like you're like there, like
to do it.
Yeah,
I'm just very like laissez-faire, like hands off.
Like yeah,
and so like I'm always just in like the back of my brain. I'm like, it'll be okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like I can just sleep today, miss class, and like it'll be fine.
Yeah,
like in my brain, and then I wake up like after the class like happened or whatever. I'm like, why didn't I just go
to class? Right. That's hard. Yeah, that is hard.
Like why?
Like why did I not just go to the 1 hour class?
Right.
You know.
Anaya, what do you think is the hardest part about being in post grad?
Ooh.
I know it's a lot.
The one or the list of
things? Literally the Christmas list of things. Like we'll say top 3. You give us a little bubble and your number.
I can give an overview.
Right, give us an
hardest
overview.
Part post grad is not knowing. And then that is what starts the list and then it breaks down. So not knowing where you're gonna live, not knowing your job, not knowing what the heck to do, not having a plan. Like there's a lot of things that I think you are in college and then it's graduation day and they kick you out and then you're like, okay, what now?
Right.
And so I think that's probably been the hardest part. As someone that likes to know everything, I'm not one that go with the flow type of girl. I like to, kind of have a little bit of plan some structure. And when I came out, I thought I had this plan in my head. I was going to move to this new city, have this new job, make a lot more money than I make now, like be in my little like hot girl single life. Like find a man, all these things.
A cowboy.
Like, I don't know. I was going to find somebody. Here I am. I ended up having to move home. I thought I would be there for like maybe 2-3 months. I'm 8 months post-grad, still there. I thought I would quit my serving job. It's coming. But I thought I would quit my serving and bartending job and like have this next job that I was so excited about and still there. And so I think that's the hardest thing is not knowing, but also being okay with your plan and your thought and what you had for your life not going the exact same way that you thought.
Right. I feel like that's the hardest part is being okay because everyone knows your life and your goals are not going to happen exactly how you do it. That's something you just kind of learn. But being okay with it not being okay is the hardest part.
That also goes with, I will say, like people say, with comparison is a thief of all joy. I had just got to the point where I'm like, this is my life. Like before the first couple months, I'm like, I'm seeing on LinkedIn, like, oh, blah, blah, got this new job and she moved here and he's doing this and she's doing this and I'm doing what? And it's like, I felt like I was not less than, but I felt like I wasn't accomplishing what I set out to do. But I had to come to like a realization, like I said, this is just recently, that my life is going to be my life. Yeah. How it looks for somebody else is not going to be the same for me. And what is meant for me will come when it's supposed to. Maybe it's not supposed to be right now. Maybe it's not supposed to be next week, but I do believe that what's meant for you will come. So I
Right.
think that comparison thing is
Right. And if y'all don't get anything out of however long this damn video is, life is not a race.
Yeah.
And it's not competition. If you make it a competition, you make it a race, your life is going to be way more miserable than it is, because that kind of also flows into like our side too, because I obviously he's graduated, but like we're working our way there. But being in school and then taking a break from school, there is no timeline, like we talked about last episode, that you have to get everything done by a certain time. There's not. You have your entire life to figure out what you want to do. Like there is no, oh, you have till summer, that's it, or you have till this time and then that opportunity goes. Well, guess what? That opportunity goes out. You weren't supposed to have the opportunity anyways. So on to the next.
Rejection, that too.
Then rejection. Rejection is hard.
Well, I never had so much rejection in my life.
Ain't nothing. There's a difference between being rejected by a man or a woman and being rejected by a job.
It's 150 jobs.
Right. So
a lot of no's. You're gonna hear a lot of no's before you hear one yes. I think that's.
But that's all it takes too is
one
yes.
Rejection is another hard part.
Right. And you just need one yes. That's it. And then one yes pinball and goes and goes and goes, and that's it. So don't sweat it. That's basically what Anaya is saying. Don't sweat it. You'll be all right. All right. What is something that you've learned since post grad that you didn't know about yourself?
Ooh, it's gonna be kind of confusing, but I feel like I've learned that I don't know who I am. And when I say that, I mean since I was 5, I've been in school. I've done elementary school, middle, high school, and now college. And coming out
16 years.
A lot. That's
crazy.
A lot of school.
Yes.
And since then I've always been told kind of who I was needed to be in a way. Like I have my own life, obviously, but I've been kind of told like, you're gonna go to school today, you're gonna be this person, you're gonna get good grades, you're going to do these things. And when I came out of post grad, I kind of felt like I don't know who I am without school. And so I think that's still something that I'm working on, and I'm learning that who I was all those years is not who I am now. Down to my clothes. Like my closet, it was very much like I don't like any stuff anymore. I feel like it's not who I am now.
Right, so college now.
Yeah,
so
college.
Like when we were at the bar last night, you were like, "Oh, this is so college, so green."
It's so
like,
green.
yeah,
So
this is
college,
so
I
scary.
learned that like
What
that's
is
just
this?
not.
Like I'm grown now.
Yeah, that's just not who I am, and it's not because I'm better than it. I never want to be like that. It's just like
you just phase
that
to the
phase
next.
of my life is gone.
Right.
Down to like I like my alone time. I like to now read. I never have been a reader. I like to sit and read. I like to go try new places. And in college and elementary school, middle and high school, that wasn't something that I was capable of doing.
Right.
So I'm kind of learning who I am. And that is what my biggest lesson has been for me, is to learn who I am. And I'm working on it.
This is the perfect audience, and we are the perfect people if you want to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were talking about this also last night too. If you are trying to get us to go out to do something, it's gonna be a no. It's gonna be a no. But if we already out doing something, why not? We're already out. Right, let's go.
Get me out.
But
I'm not doing that every night.
I can speak for me and Key, because when I tell you we get home and we sit down on the damn couch or on the bed and go to sleep or watch TV or play with our dog, that's it. Ain't no, oh, let's go get ready for the bar. Ain't no ready for nothing like that. You're never better than anyone else because you don't do a certain thing. It's just the way we live. So that's just a little intel on our lives. And Key can go into more detail about that. But
nobody loves a mental health day more.
That's right.
Mental health.
We be taking mental health months. Like it'd be 30 straight days. Like
nothing of nothing.
Right.
I think that's okay.
I would say the world is lucky we have to go to work, because if not, we would be in this house every day.
No, everybody just decompresses like differently.
Right.
And if I like decompress by like sitting on my phone and like watching TikTok or like cooking dinner, eating the dinner, I mean, like,
Right.
that's just like what's fun to me.
Yeah.
Right. That's all that matters. Make it personal to you. That's it. Because, like I was saying last episode, don't judge someone else because their decompressing ways is not the same as yours, and they shouldn't judge you for theirs not being the same as yours.
You like taking shots at the bar? Take home.
Take them.
Take all
Take
of
one for
them.
me.
Take
Right.
2.
Shit, make it 3.
I mean,
No,
You got it.
right?
Because for me,
Because I learned yesterday, fuck a coffee shot. I don't know what that was. That was bad.
It was nasty.
that was disgusting.
I was a coffee drinker. It was bad.
Right. It was like, we love us some coffee,
Can we
but
get-
that was
can
not.
we- From this podcast, don't take no coffee.
Don't take no coffee shots, because that was bad. So, oh my goodness. What tips and tricks do you think you would give yourself if you could go back in time, or someone that's in your shoes, So me probably here in the next couple months, would you
Okay.
say that helped you the most or helped?
Okay, so I'll be specific with like if I was talking to Darius and I was like, "What would you do if you're about to graduate? Here's what I would do." People always say it, and I hate it, but network. Talking to people
Wait a
all
minute.
the time, even in our career that we're in right now, serving, you can meet so many people.
Right.
I would also say start figuring out what you like without anybody telling you. Sit in yourself, by yourself, and figure out what you like. Because I think we have this idea, like I said, and then we go out and we don't think that's the same. I would say be prepared for rejection. And I wish in college somebody would have set me down and been like, and I be prepared for rejection.
Right.
Everybody was like, you're going to graduate and get this job. No one ever talked about the rejection. Tell everybody who is about to graduate, be prepared for rejection.
This is not.
And it might not be as many as mine or anybody else's, but be prepared to hear, no, you're not qualified, you're too young, you don't have enough experience, be prepared for that. But I would also say make your own path. People are like, you don't have enough experience, find some, make some, go online and start learning certificates. Like there's like free courses. Find ways to make yourself more wanted in a way in the job market.
Valuable.
Yeah, that's a good one. Find ways to make yourself more valuable.
Right.
Also, I guess personally, I would say the same thing. Find ways to make yourself valuable because now you don't have that back burner of like, I'm a college student. That doesn't matter anymore. Now you're just an adult. Start learning about money. Start learning about how you buy things. Start learning about credit because I think school, you're in there for so long, but you come out and people don't know nothing about it. Start learning about credit cards.
Right.
Start learning about how you can move and where you can move to, what
money.
you can afford, how to save money. Like there's a lot of things that come with being an adult now. Learn about insurance, learn about medical and dental and learn about that stuff. Because I mean, at some point you're going to be on your own and now you kind of are. And I think that's another like thing to learn as you enter this like new adult.
For sure. No, because I heard this video today. I was telling them that it's not what you know, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. Because I saw that on a podcast. I don't know what the podcast name is, so I might put it down there so they don't copyright me. But that really spoke to me, especially being wanting to do sports and stuff like that. Like there's not really like to be a teacher, obviously you go to school, you do a little practice here, undergrad or in your graduate, and then they walk you through it and get you there. Doctors, nurses, all the jobs and stuff like that. But I was like, you know what, why not? Let's choose the hardest career path to get into, which is sports. And then sports broadcasting is a whole nother tier, but that. So we'll see eventually. But like she said, make your own path because there's not a certain way to get to a destination. Like you literally, as long as you get there and as long as you're trying to get there, you're golden. So excellent answers. Thank you. All right, we're gonna tailor a little bit more to you now. Kiara, what do you think has been the hardest about not being in school at our age?
That everyone around me is doing it or did it. Literally everybody around me.
Right.
The only thing I do now, like not being in school, is hang out with Darius at home and go to work in my college town with all of my college student coworkers.
Right.
So that's hard. And then especially like now, like when classes like start up and people are talking about class for like all week, like going to work and it's always sad, like, oh, I remember like when I would go to class. Like it just makes me sad or it makes me feel like I'm not doing as much as they are or like I should be doing something else. That's always that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Like that comparison
every semester.
Yeah.
But then I also like I might freak out about it for like 24 hours, but then after that I just go into like this like really like calm, peaceful state.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's just not right for me right now, Kiara. Like you're fine. Go back, you'll figure it out.
Right. Your time is your time.
Your time, yeah.
That's not. That's
no
one else's.
That is hard.
That was another thing I was gonna ask. I know, especially since we've been dating, it's been super weird, and I've been guilty of this, and I'm sure like anyone who's probably watched has been guilty of this. But like people who aren't doing certain things a certain way, or like the way you've been doing it, you almost are curious about it, but it comes across as like a negative way. So people are always like, what are you doing? Are you ever going to go back? Like they're like almost being nosy about it. And I feel like that's another hard thing too, because like trying to explain yourself to everybody just because it's so against the norm is probably super hard.
Yeah.
That's the thing is I feel like a lot of the time, like when I am explaining it, I feel like people like assume like, oh, maybe she's not smart. Oh, maybe she's lazy. And like, it's not either of those things.
Right. No, you're definitely not lazy.
I don't
that's
even
for
think
sure.
if you don't go to school at all,
Right,
that makes you anything.
that makes you anything less than
We
anybody.
could be in the same predicament, living at home,
Right.
broke,
Because, you
and you
know,
went to school and I did. You
the
know what I mean?
person,
Yeah.
there is no,
You have to.
you have to do this a certain way. I mean, obviously, if you want to be a nurse, you got to go to school to get your nursing stuff. And if you want to be a teacher, you got to learn how to go teach. And if you want to be a doctor, you got to learn how to go be a doctor, stuff like that. But like, you don't have, other than like those really like those five main things, it's not a blueprint to do it. So like, if you want to do literally anything else, then that's not tailored to a specific thing, like you really just go to school to get the paper to prove. That's another thing too that my parents like try to explain to me, and that I've kind of realized too as I've gone through my degree is like it's not really what you've learned in college that like gets you to the next step. It's proving to your employers and stuff that you can get through and do a certain task and stuff like that. So also it helps you too to realize that you can do it. But like back to like what you're saying, I feel like a lot of people make it such a negative thing that you don't do it a certain way. And I kind of elaborated in this like last week, and I was talking about my mom and how she literally is almost 45 years old, just now found her calling and is currently in school to teach, even though she's at ECU. So go Pirates. So proud of her. We're just an ECU family around here. But and my stepmom actually got her master's degree from ECU too. So we're just ECU everywhere. But she literally my entire life, like from now until this last year, she's always done like sales, she did marketing, she's done all the things, like all the like the business stuff. And like she always talks about how she like loved the job because it paid the bills and it did the things and it provided for me and my brother and like my now sister, and it got the things done, but she never was in love with the job. But it took her 35, 40 years to figure out, oh, I'm going to be a teacher. I want to help the next generation of people. She always talked about it, but she now is doing it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there is no rush or timetable. So if someone is in a predicament like Key, like, who knows? She might be the next Steve Jobs.
She might.
And y'all are just preying on her downfall because she's not doing it the same way you're fucking doing it. Like, they're like, you can't, don't judge a book by its cover. That's literally, you hear that every single day. That's like my least favorite thing that people do is judge other people because they don't do a certain thing. We've had conversations about it, like how it makes her feel and how I can imagine it makes anyone feel who doesn't do a certain thing a certain way. Like, it almost makes it like, should I even go back to school? Or like, I have to go back to school now to fit
it
the
makes it feel
certain
forced
thing.
again.
It feels forced. And
things don't need to be forced.
Right, it shouldn't be forced. It should be whenever you want to go back to school and get your degree or however you want to do it. If you want to do it online, if you want to do it at community college, if you want to do it at a big university, if you want to waste $100,000 to do it or only spend $2 to do it, like however you want to do it. I commend you for your consistency and your like understanding and really your understanding of your own self-worth, knowing that it's
like
not
if you know that it's not
right.
I think you would go if you're not ready, you're gonna go and you're gonna do either waste your time, fail your class, not go. It's no point if you're not.
I'm glad.
Like if you're not gonna give it your all, like
why do it?
Right.
Kind of like a self like preservation tactic.
Yeah.
Like I'm preserving my energy
Yeah.
until I'm ready.
Give it all.
Right.
I'm just not ready right now.
All right, babe. What advice do you think you would give to someone in your shoes? Like, what would you say is like the number one thing that you've learned since taking your break from college that would benefit someone who's scared or is considering maybe taking a break? What would you say to them?
I would say, like, get to know yourself. Likes, your dislikes, what you enjoy, what you fucking hate, what you like to spend your time doing. Like, get to know yourself and then get to know, like, the reason why. Like, you think it's not right for you, basically. For example, I get kind of overwhelmed, like, doing, like, multiple tasks at once. It's hard for me in my brain, like, to be a girlfriend and to be an employee and be a full-time student and be a daughter. Like, it's just hard for me.
A dog mom.
Yeah.
And a dog mom. Yeah.
You wear many hats, which I commend, and I always talk about to everyone that
I'm not saying it's impossible because so many people do it, but
it's just who you are.
My brain doesn't like it. Like my brain is not trying to do all of those things at once.
Right. Which is understandable. A lot of people can't just like physically, like mentally just can't.
Like that much stuff in their brain.
But when you do the things that like you set your mind to, like you're like super like great at it.
That's the thing is I get super like hyper fixated on stuff, and school was one of those things that I was like constantly thinking about, and it was like it almost like brought on like a negative connotation. Like it wasn't good. Like it wasn't like I was thinking about it 24/7. I was studying. I was getting really good grades. It's like it was all I thought about, and it kind of like consumed me in a way. It just wasn't healthy. And so I would say get to know yourself and then get to know the reason why. But then the most important thing, explain that to your loved ones. Like, I literally find so much comfort even just right now sitting with Darius and Anaya. They just make me feel seen. They make me feel worthy. They make me feel like I'm okay being just me, who I am. Just sitting here right now, like, they make me feel like I'm more than enough.
And you are.
And my mom also does that more than anyone. I love you, Mom. But yeah, just explain that to loved ones. Like, let them see you and hear you and give you advice and make you feel comforted. That's my biggest thing. Like, you need a team behind you. And so find people who will support you the way that you want to be supported and then let them.
It takes a tribe.
Take something to them and be like, please support me with it.
I'm going to say, don't be scared.
Yeah.
When it comes to really anything, but especially that, like something that seems so like out of this world, like uncomprehendable to some people. A lot of people are more understanding, especially the loved ones who care about you the most, like will understand.
Yeah.
And don't be scared and tell them how you feel about something.
Yeah, I think that's honestly in all aspects. If you're not in school, you are in school, you're just graduated, you don't know if you want to go to school at all, you want to drop out, you want to do that. I think you just need people behind you in every aspect. So that's honestly, I wouldn't have thought about that, but
yeah, that's a great answer.
Yeah, like literally find your correct, like, people that you're supposed to like be with, like friends or family, and like you should be able to tell them like, I'm gonna go take a nap, and they should fucking celebrate you because that's awesome.
That girl.
Like, find those people who are gonna celebrate like your wins and your losses.
Right.
Yeah, tell you it's okay.
Be there
give you advice. Be like,
and also feel accountable too.
Yeah,
hold you accountable is important. Anaya never fails with that though.
Shout outs for Naya.
Anaya always holds her loved ones accountable.
That's what I want us all to win. That's really all.
Right.
We just ought to be the best people we can in this world.
Right. It does no good. It does no good being negative.
Yeah, let's all eat together.
Right. Thank you guys for being such amazing guests on the show. I appreciate you guys and all y'all's wise words. Thank you guys for watching and listening, whatever platform you guys are on. And I hope you guys follow and see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.